Hello, my name is Terry. In this video, we'll discuss our investigations of Ballwin Manor. This is a home that has long since been abandoned, and we've investigated it on several occasions, and this will be a composite of all of those investigations combined into one video. Ballwin Manor is noteworthy for several interesting things. One is that these ghosts here are mobile. They're leaving the premises and visiting the neighbors' homes. We've conducted extensive interviews with the neighbors, and they describe how apparitions are appearing inside their own homes. In one instance, one of the neighbor's daughters was traveling on the road in front of their house when they witnessed three apparitions appeared in the road right in front of the car. She slammed the brakes of her car on but failed to stop in time, and she passed right through the three figures. When she got out of the car, she looked over everything and saw that nothing was there. There was no sign that anything had happened. This place is noteworthy because some of the greatest photographs ever taken by our group originate from this location. And we've only visited this location a handful of times. It's quite uncommon to get this many outstanding photographs on so few visits. The other thing that's unusual is the almost non-existence of EVP voices. We've captured a few here and there, but it's very unusual for a place that is this haunted to have so few EVP voices. Another thing of great interest is that there is a cemetery very close by to this property. We don't know if the ghosts originate from this cemetery and are visiting the house and all the homes along the way, and are traveling up and down the road, as some people have witnessed. So it's an unknown as to whether the cemetery is the source of the paranormal activity or if it's the house itself. This is something we've not yet determined. In the first clip, you'll hear a piece of equipment running. Then you'll hear people talking. Then, if you listen very carefully, you'll hear the sound of a man screaming. I will highlight this sound later in the video after this clip is played, and I'll repeat it twice. It's quite common at haunted locations for paranormal photographs to become fogged. In the following group of photos, my friend who was taking pictures of me standing inside the room, you will notice that the fog is completely obliterating the image. And in each subsequent photo, the fog is slowly lifting, as if whatever it is it's disturbing the image is slowly thinning out. We can't account for this. This is not a natural phenomenon. There's no weather conditions inside this home that would cause these photographs to do this. All of the other photographs that they took were perfectly clear. The next scene is very interesting. I was on the second floor with another investigator. A third investigator had just proceeded down the stairway when we heard from less than 10 feet behind me the windows being smashed out. When we went over to investigate the window, we noticed that the windows are completely boarded up from the outside. There's no way that anyone could have thrown a rock or done any of this damage from the outside of the house, and there were only two of us on the floor at this time. This is completely unexplained.
They close pretty well.
In the next clip, while we were on the second floor clearing up for the night, we all heard this loud sound coming from the stairway. When we went to examine it, we couldn't find any source for this sound.
We'll have to do a room-to-room check to make sure we didn't leave anything behind.
See him go up.
What was that?
Is that there down here?
Is there something on the steps?
What was that noise? I heard something.
There is no electricity in Ballwin Manor. Even so, I brought my tri-field natural meter with me to this investigation. Throughout the night, it was going off, detecting fields of electromagnetic fields that are not of a man-made nature. In these two clips are just samples of the tri-field natural meter being triggered. In the next clip, a weak EVP voice can be heard. It's one of the few EVPs that we captured on numerous investigations. It's very weak, and I'll repeat it several times at a higher volume.
Show us that you're here. Any kind of sign at all. Knock on the door. Can you join us in the room again? Do you not have the ability to show us you're here?
We decided to do a lockdown of the premises. Everyone left the house with our equipment running inside, and we closed and locked the door and left. These 4 sounds were recorded inside the house while no one is inside. There should be no sounds whatsoever inside this house at this time because there's no people in it. Normally people can cause so much background noise that it would contaminate the scene, but in this instance we can document that these sounds are not human because there is no one inside the premises. The following 2 photographs were taken during different investigations at the same premises, both by Tom Hallstatt. The first photo we called the Blue Ghost. It was taken at the back stairway by Tom while he was standing at the back hallway when he visibly saw this figure coming up the stairs, and he framed it and snapped the photo. We all came running as soon as he took the photograph because we was yelling, and when I was advancing into the room, the EMF meters in my hands were going off as I was getting close to him. I never actually got to see this ghost or any signs of an apparition because I was too late. But I was so close from where he was at the time he took the picture, I believe I may have caught the remnants as an EMF field as it was dissipating. We've also taken some after-the-fact photos from this exact same location, one with a tape measure trying to estimate the height of the figure, and another one where Tom is standing trying to reposition where the entity was at the time he took the photograph. If you look the photograph over carefully, you'll notice only the top of the entity is fully formed. Its lower portion is completely missing, which is the complete opposite of the second photo that Tom took under different circumstances at the base of the main stairway. This is Tom Hallstatt's second wonderful photograph from inside Ballwin Manor. We call this one the Fire Ghost. If you look carefully, you'll see flames on the stairway, and we can't account for any of this. This shouldn't be here, and it didn't appear in any of his other photographs. And there were many taken from the exact same spot because this was an unusual situation. Tom had mounted his camera on a tripod with a timer, taking photographs at timed intervals. None of the other photographs showed any anomaly like this one. They were all perfectly normal. In this one, if you look at the very base of the stairway, you'll see the leg and shoe of a man going up. It looks like he's got a boot on and perhaps wearing blue jeans, and he's proceeding up the stairs. The top portion of him is completely absent, or it's distorted by all of this fiery light. The interior of Ballwin Manor had deteriorated considerably over the years. There are many places that are dangerous to step, so many of them we had illuminated with glow sticks so that no one would actually fall or trip in the darkness. At the end of the investigation, we went to go round up all of the glow sticks. To our shock, the glow sticks, all but a handful of them, had disappeared. No one had acknowledged taking them up or picking them up because we had not yet prepared to leave for the night. We conducted a room-to-room search of the house and found nothing. We then proceeded to investigate the grounds when we noticed from underneath a refuse pile right behind the house, underneath it, all of the glow sticks had been buried underneath all of these leaves and pile of debris. No one did this. Two of our investigators had an interesting story to tell. They were standing in the backyard when we were recovering all of the glow sticks. They had told us that they'd personally witnessed one of these glow sticks being carried off through the woods behind the house. This is extremely interesting because it's not possible to walk through this woods without flashlights because it's so steep and difficult to maneuver, and you would make so much noise you couldn't possibly not be detected going through this woods. But whatever it was carrying the glow stick through the woods, making no sounds whatsoever. And they were close enough that they should have seen who or whatever was carrying it, but nobody saw anything carrying it. Whatever it was invisible. We decided to investigate the local cemetery. It's just a short walk from the house. Some unexplained lights turned up in our photographs. These were taken also by Tom Hallstad.